Welcome back to our journey through Genesis, as we progress in our Bible summary series. In chapter 25 we witness the close of Abraham's life, the transfer of his legacy, and the beginning of new generations in Isaac's family. The chapter covers the complex transitions from one generation to the next, the rivalry between Jacob and Esau, and how God's promises continue to unfold. Let's dive into the story and uncover its deeper meaning. Section 1. Abraham's final years and death. Genesis 25 begins with Abraham's later years after Sarah's death. In these years he marries a woman named Keturah and has several more children. While these sons also become part of Abraham's legacy, they do not inherit the covenant promise. Instead, Abraham ensures that Isaac remains the sole heir of God's covenant by sending Keturah's children eastward with gifts. This act of sending Keturah's sons away reinforces that the covenant promise to possess the land and become a great nation will pass through Isaac alone, in keeping with God's plan. Abraham dies at the age of 175 and is buried alongside Sarah in the cave of Machpelah. His death marks the end of an era, yet God's promises to him will continue through Isaac and the generations to follow. Section 2. The generations of Ishmael. Following Abraham's death, Genesis 25 briefly lists the generations of Ishmael, the son Abraham had with Hagar. Ishmael's 12 sons formed the tribes that spread throughout the Arabian region. Although Ishmael is not the child of the covenant, God remains faithful to his promise to make him into a great nation. This lineage shows God's blessing upon Ishmael's family, fulfilling the promise that he would father 12 princes and become a nation in his own right, though separate from the covenant line of Isaac. Section 3. The birth of Jacob and Esau. After Ishmael's genealogy, the story shifts back to Isaac and Rebekah. Like Sarah, Rebekah is barren, but Isaac prays to the Lord on her behalf. God hears Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah conceives twins, but as the children grow in her womb they struggle intensely, causing her to seek an answer from God. The Lord answers Rebekah with a prophetic message: 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. This prophecy foreshadows the conflict and complex relationship between her sons, Jacob and Esau, and the nations they would father. Section 4. The birth and early character of Jacob and Esau. Rebekah's twins are born, and each son has unique characteristics from the start. Esau, the firstborn, is red and covered in hair, a feature that would later define him as a rugged hunter. Jacob, however, is born grasping Esau's heel, a symbolic act that hints at his future desire to surpass his older brother. As they grow, Esau becomes a skilled hunter, beloved by Isaac, while Jacob is more reserved and remains at home, favored by Rebekah. This parental favoritism sets the stage for future tensions within the family. Section 5. Jacob purchases Esau's birthright. The tension between Jacob and Esau intensifies over an incident involving Esau's birthright. One day, Esau returns from hunting, exhausted and famished, and he finds Jacob cooking a pot of stew. Desperate for food, Esau asks for a portion, but Jacob seizes this opportunity. Jacob offers Esau the stew, but only on the condition that Esau sells him his birthright, the privileges of the firstborn. In a moment of impulsive hunger, Esau agrees, prioritizing immediate satisfaction over his long-term inheritance. This transaction reveals Jacob's shrewd nature and foreshadows the continued rivalry between them. By trading his birthright for a meal, Esau demonstrates a lack of regard for the inheritance and responsibilities tied to God's covenant. Jacob, though calculating, shows a deep desire for the covenant promises, even if his methods are questionable. Section 6. Themes of God's sovereignty and human choices. Genesis 25 captures profound themes of divine sovereignty, human choice, and family dynamics. While God's promise will carry forward through Isaac's lineage, Jacob's ambitions and Esau's impulsiveness reveal the complexities of human nature. God's prophecy to Rebekah, that the older will serve the younger, begins to unfold, demonstrating that God's purposes often transcend human customs and expectations. This chapter illustrates that God can work through imperfect people and challenging circumstances to fulfill his will. Despite Esau's disregard for his birthright and Jacob's cunning ways, God's promises to Abraham remain unbroken, underscoring the theme that God's plans are sovereign and will come to pass. Conclusion lessons from Genesis 25. Genesis 25 is a chapter of transition. As the patriarch Abraham passes on, we see new generations take center stage. Jacob and Esau's rivalry is only beginning, but it reminds us that God's covenant unfolds amidst human weakness, tension, and rivalry. The legacy of faith continues through Isaac, despite family complexities and challenges. In our own lives, we may face moments of rivalry or imperfection, but like Jacob and Esau, we are all part of a larger story. Genesis 25 invites us to reflect on God's ability to use our lives, even with our imperfections, for His greater purpose. May we all remember that God's promises remain faithful across generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Genesis 25. If you're enjoying this series, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights on the Bible's timeless stories. Until next time, may you find hope in God's unchanging promises. See you on the next episode. Thank you.